Hello, welcome back to my YouTube. I'm Katy Flower. If you've not been here before, then welcome. I hope you enjoy this mini flow I've got for you today. So we're going to work through a sequence and then we're going to work through it again, but I'm going to add on some extra progressions for you. So there'll be two sequences, but you're more than welcome to stay with where we go throughout the first sequence. If you want to add on the extras and challenge yourself a little bit more, then feel free to join me for the second sequence. I really hope you enjoy this. If you do, please hit the subscribe button to support me on my channel, and you get a notification each week when the new flow is up. So let's get started. We're going to start in a tabletop position today. So just stacking those wrists, elbows and shoulders, knees and hips are stacked. And we'll just begin by working through some traditional cat-cow. So next time you exhale, you're going to begin to round through the spine, drop the head, tuck that tailbone under, so opening through that back body. As you inhale, let's take it to a cow. So lift that chest, dropping the belly to the floor, lift those sit bones. Exhale, round it off. Inhale, lift to cow. And then you can just stay flowing between these two with your own breath. Or if you want to just take it a little bit more freely, you can begin to take any movement that feels good. So I like to do this at the beginning of my practice, just to notice how my body's feeling and to begin to wake up that spine. So our spine is designed to move in lots of different directions, but it tends to stay in the same sort of positions these days because we sit so much, we spend so much time in one place. So I just want you to move freely. Don't worry what it looks like, and just work into that spine. Just making sure you're staying with that breath. And then joining me back in your tabletop position. Okay, from here, we're going to take that left leg out behind. We're going to try and now lift the left arm. So yes, not the right arm, the left arm, so the same side. And just have a go. So see if you can find that balance. See if you can lift that left arm. If you wobble, it's okay. So just find a focus, or a drishti, we call it in yoga. And then from there, you're going to begin to open into the shoulders, open into the hip to come to your modified side plank, reaching away with those fingertips. From there, you're going to look down towards that right hand, and you're going to see if you can bring that left foot to join that right hand. See how gently and gracefully you can land that foot. From there, inhale, reach to your low crescent lunge. And then push into that back heel, so toes are tucked under. Lift that back knee, bringing it to a high lunge. Hands come down to your heart center. Begin to shift that weight forwards, so bringing your torso to 45 degrees. And just hold there. So this left leg is going to be loaded up. The core is going to be active, so try and hold us here. Keeping the hands at heart center, begin to shift that weight onto the left leg. Can you hover that right leg? Nice. So in your warrior three, making sure those hip bones are shining down towards the floor. From there, stepping back, again, nice and gracefully, reaching those arms. Dropping that back heel to open to your warrior two. So reaching through those front fingertips, reaching through those back fingertips, relax the shoulders. From there, reach the arms up above the head. Take opposite elbows with opposite hands. And then we're going to find a reverse warrior two, but with our arms in this position. So just leaning that torso back. Inhale, coming forwards. Leaning towards a side angle, but again, with the arms where they are. And then bring it back to center. Release back to your warrior two. From there, we're going to begin to come to our half moon. So shifting the weight onto that left foot, can you hover that right leg? So if you've got a block, you could use a block here under this left hand, or you can bring the fingertips to the floor, or you can hover them off the floor. Pushing into that back heel. From there, we're going to close off the hips. Bring those fingertips down to the floor. Find a half standing split. So just hold it here. And then we're going to bend into this front leg, step it back. Bring both hands down to the floor, step that left foot to join it, find a high plank. And then work through a vinyasa. So the knees can stay lifted or you can lower the knees to the floor. Exhale as you come all the way down. Inhale, coming to your cobra or your upward facing dog. Push it all the way back. Downward facing dog. Okay, so we'll take that sequence on the other side. So you're going to drop both knees to find your tabletop position. So just bring those hands back so they're underneath the shoulders. This time, take the right leg out behind. So finding that stability, using that core strength, can you lift that right hand to the same side? Find that focal point, that drishti. From there, can you open up to your modified side plank? From here, bending that right leg, stepping it as far through as you can and as gracefully as you can to join that left hand. Inhale, rise, low crescent lunge. From there, tuck the back toes under, push into that back heel, find your high lunge. Hands come down to heart center, shift the weight forwards. So torso comes to about 45 degrees. Loading up that right leg this time. Remembering to breathe. From there, shifting onto that right foot, can you hover that left leg? Warrior three. Hold it here, nice and slowly, and with control, step that left foot all the way back to your high lunge, dropping that back heel to open to your warrior two. Arms come up to the sky, taking hold of those elbows. Finding our reverse warrior in this position. So opening into that right side body, and then taking it across to your variation of a side angle. So we're still in ragdoll arms. And then coming all the way back to your warrior two. From there, shifting the weight onto that right foot, we're going to find our half moon. So you might want to hop that left leg closer. You can use a block under the hand, or you can hover the fingertips or bring them to the floor. So choose where you want to be. Shift that weight. Begin to lift that left leg. I'm coming to your half moon. So left fingertips are reaching to the sky. Stay with this. And then nice and slowly, see if you can close off the hips. Bring the fingertips down to the floor, finding your half standing split. From there, step it as far back as you can. Right foot joins the left. And you're going to work through a vinyasa. So hovering halfway, the knees can be down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, from there, let's take a little child's pose. So before we move to our second sequence, you're going to sink the bottom back to the heels. You can make a little pillow for the head. And just use this time to check in with the breath. Check in with yourself, how you're feeling. And just deciding if you want to stick with what we just did, or maybe you're feeling like you want to take the second sequence. So just listen to your body. Do what feels best in your body today. So when you're ready, you're going to bring the hands to your tabletop position, but then we're going to step to a high plank. So you're either going to stay here and work through the variation we did in our tabletop, or you're going to step it to a high plank. So from there, in your high plank, can you lift that left leg and lower it down? Can you lift that left arm and lower it down? From there, can you shift onto your right side to find a full side plank this time? You can have your feet staggered. You can be here. You can always lift that leg, bring it to tree, bring it out to the side, kick your plant. From there, can you bring that left foot all the way through to that right hand? Inhale straight up to our high lunge here. And keeping the arms in this position, we're going to then hinge forwards. So a little bit more challenging than last time with the arms overhead. From there, can you shift that weight onto that left leg? Find warrior 3. But again, with the arms reaching. From there, lower that right foot back down. Back through our high lunge. Drop that back heel to find your warrior 2. So it's sinking nice and low. From there, reach the arms. Take them back to our ragdoll arms. And then reverse your warrior. Bring it over to a side angle variation. Maybe reaching those arms this time. From here, shifting that weight onto the left foot. Begin to hop on that right foot. We're going to find our half moon. So, again, you can use your block. You can hover those fingertips. Add on here, if you want to, you can take a half bind. So you can begin to bend that right leg, seeing if you can take hold of that foot. It's just an option. From your half moon, release the bind if you've got it. Close off the hips to find a full standing split this time. So squeeze that right bum cheek to lift the leg. Extra option here, if you want to, you can bend that right leg. Maybe reach around with that left hand. Can you find that right foot? And then release the foot if you've got it. Everybody stepping as far back as you can. Left foot joins the right. And work through your vinyasa. So you can lower the knees. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale, lifting to your cobra. Squeeze that bottom. Exhale. Find a downward facing dog. Okay, so we're nearly there. Just the other side to do. So when you're ready, you're either going to bring it back to your tabletop, work through that first sequence, or you're going to find your high plank here. So from your high plank, you're going to hover that right leg and lower it. Hover that right arm and lower. From there, shifting onto the left side to find your side plank. So hold it here, option to hover that right leg. Maybe take a tree leg. From there, looking down to that left hand, can you step that right foot through with control? Inhale, rise, high lunge. Keeping those arms by the ears, hinge forwards, load up that right leg. Then from there, can you find your warrior 3 with those arms reaching this time? Stepping back with control, open to your warrior 2. Sink it low and then reach those arms. Take opposite elbows. Find your reverse warrior. Bring it over to your side angle position. Maybe reach those arms. And then from here, we're going to find our half moon. So shifting the weight onto that right foot, lifting those left fingertips, using that block if you want to, maybe taking that bind, that half bind, taking that left foot. Hold it here. If you've got the foot, release it. Coming down to your standing split, lifting that left leg, maybe bending that foot, maybe taking that right hand to find the left foot. These are all options. If you're there, release the foot. Both hands come down to the floor, step that foot back. Right foot joins it. And then work through your final vinyasa. So maybe keeping those knees lifted, or maybe lowering them down. Meeting back in a downward facing dog. And then just dropping the knees. Let's find a nice narrow leg child's pose. Arms come down by the side. Resting that forehead down. And just relax the shoulders. So just use this time to slow the breath. Just being proud of everything your body's just done for you. So it was a challenging flow. So even sequence 1 was challenging. So just being proud of yourself. Knowing that you've built strength. You've worked on your tapas, so your determination. Sticking with that flow, even when it got challenging and wobbly. So hopefully that breath slowed right back down now. You're going to nice and slowly begin to lift the head from the floor. Bring yourself all the way onto your knees. And just place the hands down on the legs. Take one big releasing breath to close our practice today. So take a big inhale through the nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Bring the hands together at your heart. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please hit the like button, drop me a comment below, and remember to subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you again next week.